Chapter 143, Three-Leaf Scorching Chi Grass, Ancient Water Beast, Murder for Treasure. _3. Otherwise, that last hit would have seriously injured him. What? The young man in the hemp robe, gazing in shock at his arms bleeding profusely, stared at the rapidly widening stone wall. His current strength, even greater than that of the Golden Core realm, was sent flying by a single tentacle, which showed the power of the monster growing within the stone wall. The young man in the hemp robe hesitated slightly before the third tentacle shot out from the crack in the stone, wrapped around his body and dragged him towards it. "I'll help you, brother." Medu, another young man in green, and a woman in purple robe summoned their flying swords and slashed at the tentacles, but they only managed to cut off before the monster awakened fully at the bottom of the lake. More and more tentacles reached out, entwining with each other, while the beast's low growls from the bottom of the lake grew louder. The young man in the hemp robe channeled his true chi into the arm guards on his arms, igniting the flames within the guards. His arms burned and emitted crimson glows, pushing away some of the tentacles. Snap, however, the second tentacle swung over, striking the young man in the hemp robe on the face, causing his face to bleed profusely, his cheekbones collapsing and blood dripping continuously from his mouth as teeth fell out. The third tentacle swung again, directly hitting the young man's head, making it split open, bloody and mangled. The young man in the hemp robe, who had been struggling, suddenly froze. The light on his arm guards faded until they dimmed completely, and a scroll of beast skin fell from his body. Han Yi made a swift move, catching the beast's skin just before it hit the water. Seeing the horrifying state of the young man in the hemp robe, he gasped in shock. If he didn't find a way to escape, his fate would be even worse. Two tentacles dragged the lifeless body of the young man in the hemp robe into the crack in the stone. Suddenly, chewing sounds could be heard from within the crack. The man who had been a cultivator of the Golden Core realm was now monster food. Han Yi realized that if he didn't leave now, he might meet the same fate. Roar. The creature within the crack roared and extended three tentacles towards him. Having been ensnared by tentacles twice before, Han Yi was naturally cautious. As the three tentacles reached out, he quickly changed direction 4 times, transforming into 4 after images, maneuvering between the gaps of the tentacles and evading them. It must be an exotic beast nurtured by the Golden Cicada's secret realm, at least an Earth-grade spirit beast. According to Han Ye's judgment, the Black Beast's fighting power had at least reached the late Golden Core realm, if not higher. Gale Control Sky Talisman. Han Yi channeled his magic power into the talisman inscription. Initially palm-sized iron wings grew under the force of magic power. The spiritual chi turned into endless gusts of wind along Han Ye's arms, converging on his back to form to glowing wings. With his magic power in motion, Han Yi shot out like an arrow, covering hundreds of meters per second. The remaining 2 disciples were tangled by even more tentacles and dragged into the water. Without offering the 2 disciples a single glance, Han Yi hastily made his escape. It wasn't until he used the talisman to flee to a deserted area that he stopped. He took out the storage ring and checked the sealed and well-preserved dozen stalks of 3-leaf Scorching Chi grass inside. Only in places with intense heat and accumulated energy could one find the 3-leaf Scorching Chi grass. These were exacting conditions. Han Yi surmised that it could only have been formed either from the blood of a powerful immortal falling into the lake, or due to a peculiar exotic beast causing a mutation. In the lake there were no other possibilities. Even a drop of blood from an immortal was incredibly potent. Even after thousands of years, the potency of the blood wouldn't dissipate. At the place where an immortal fell, his blood seeped into the soil. Over time, continuous natural nurturing enabled the growth of the 3-leaf Scorching Chi grass. This was more valuable than any other spiritual medicines because it could be consumed directly. To enhance a cultivator's cultivation and physical strength, to gather more 3-leaf Scorching Chi grass, he would need to deal with the monster in the lake. Han Yi raised his head to look at the imposing mountain. Black, oily miasma engulfed the entire mountain, rendering the full view of the mountain unclear. He could only discern a vague outline. A sense of extreme danger emanated from the depths of the mountain, causing him to shiver. He took out the torn beast skin scroll from the young man in the hemp robe, laid it on the ground, and studied it closely. He discovered that it was a map, sketching out the terrains of the Golden Cicada's secret realm in pieces. The map was incomplete, and some areas were not recorded at all. No wonder they could regroup so quickly. They had a map of the Golden Cicada secret realm. Han Yi understood after looking at the beast skin map. After studying it, he finally confirmed his location and pointed at a spot on the map. I should be here at the Burning Spring Lake. On the map, there was a note about the Burning Spring Lake. Below it, there was a small text, Burning Spring Lake, the place where the Golden Cicada true mortal slaughtered his enemies. Blood flowed into rivers, gathering into a lake, dropping down to form a mount. The blood chi turned into scorched chi, lingering for 1,000 years. Han Yi looked at the lake again, feeling some agitation. No wonder there's a hot lake, and such a terrifying monster beneath it. It's a place soaked in the blood of countless battles. Even after 1,000 years, the heat still remains. He quickly noticed that the center of the map was marked in red, indicating important areas where good things likely existed. Should I go there? Han Yi pocketed the map, his expression revealing his conflict. At that moment, the emerald green leaf on his chest glowed, signaling the approach of a dragon sparrow sect disciple. Who could it? Han Yi frowned slightly and stepped back. Given what had just happened, he must remain vigilant, even towards members of his own sect.